the Maybach on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what I say. I say, babe, he said it's a them pretty. You look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football.
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Los Angeles Rams. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Off on first down. They'll throw underneath for Gurley. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll be a second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. So opening drive, 3 straight runs, unable to pick up the first.
I know the fans want to see first downs, but guess what? The coaches have reasons for what they're doing. Sometimes they've scripted it, and some of these runs, while they haven't been successful now, they may be successful later on.
The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Avoids him at the 40. Oh, he did it again.
Wrap up.
Accelerating, and off he goes. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over.
They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Following the penalty, it's Gurley. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter games turn into...
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Jordan Willis in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
So Goff, he'll try to refocus after the sack. The Rams now set up with a tough one, a 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Goff. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Fletcher Cox, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. 3rd and long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
Zero fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. But the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Finding some room at midfield. And all the way down to the 25-yard line. 38 yards on the scamper there.
And it is still early, just the first quarter. But you start prorating the numbers, and we might be in for some history. I mean, that last run puts him over 100 yards already, and we've still got 3 quarters to go.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. And an alley to run. Open space inside the 10. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. In for the score. And the Eagles add on to their lead.
That drive was quick and impressive. Almost like they had somewhere else they needed to be after the game.
Elliott now to add the extra point. Elliott good on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Well, it wasn't a one-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone. Elliott now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Now on second down, this is Gurley. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And Cooks has it over the middle. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Throwing on third. Goff. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for L.A. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Taking it about the 16. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
Now a first carry for Daniel Pumphrey. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run get.
Through an opening, and there he goes. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there. 78 yards. And the Eagles had 6 to their lead.
Well, Brandon, if we go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator, he showed us his script. Didn't show us everything now. He said, here's the script for the game. I think everything's going according to plan in a big way. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's about as good as, that is as good as you can do, I guess. So, well done.
Yeah, well done indeed. Tremendous execution.
Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now 21-0. Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and are controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage and moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off. And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
Now it draws. Goff gives to Gurley. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
And while there is no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
A gain of 11 and a first down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
They go play action with Gurley. Now Goff. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. 30, 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD.
What you just saw there, first-round talent, second year, even more success. A pick-6 for a touchdown.
A great play. And it's tough for these guys, you've told me before, to adjust in the secondary as a first-year guy. So that sophomore season is big for them.
They really start to expand the playbook for them even more. Sometimes they dumb it down a little bit to make them comfortable year one. By year two, they should have all the nuances, and now they've adjusted to the speed of NFL play as well.
Showed right there. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down.
Here comes the ball. I see you, boy. I see you. Kill, kill, kill. Turn it up. Kill, kill, kill. Turn it up. Switch, switch, switch.
And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Get him, boy.
He's to the 10. That burst good for 20 and a first down. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Only a yard that time, second and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he's in. Front Eagles touchdown. Jay Ajayi with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Eagles are pouring it on. And Charles, he's able to dive in there in a short yardage situation.
Just find a place to get to the end zone. Didn't matter where it was, but once he did, used his nose for the end zone and dove in.
Elliott good on the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Elliott now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. As the Rams offense comes back out, here is the NFC playoff picture coming into the weekend. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. To throw on second down is gone. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Off to Woods as the Rams move the chains. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st and 10, gone. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. A gain of 6 there on first.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum right there.
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all.
Robert Woods, touchdown, LA! Robert Woods, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Rams are in for 6.
I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row and we're going to be terrific. But to get one, that was huge for them. That has to feel much better right now.
And you do have, we're still in the first half. You do have the entire second half. There's something about that goose egg that just looked bad on that board, but now they've broken it.
Yeah, broken through. Can they maintain the pace? We'll see as we go along.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here. A big play there for Philly. 57 yards on the ground. Yardage-wise, he's in the top handful of backs in the league so far this season. A great run there.
He's going to love that standing when it comes to contract time. But even more so, his team loves it because he gives them an identity and sets a tone.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
81.
First throw now for the backup Wentz. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right.
I'm bringing it to you. Kill.
Now a toss play. It's a Ajayi. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Oh, boy, I know you felt that one. Lion.
Now Wentz. Escaping the pressure right. And he fires one, but incomplete.
And I feel like my man, Old Mo, momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3 and out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
Lion. 81.
Wentz going to go on fourth down. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Eagles unable to convert there on fourth. And the Rams are going to take... Possession of the turnover on downs. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Goff turns and gives to Gurley. Oh, and now he bowls Todd Gurley. Wave goodbye. He's at the 50, the 30, past the 20. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Todd Gurley, an even 90 yards. And the Rams are able to cut into this lead. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. Might he be on his way to a record-setting performance here, Charles? Second quarter, and the yardage number already ridiculous.
And they always talk about just focusing on the next play. But sometimes it's okay to dream big because
I'm focusing on the fourth quarter already.
Listen, I don't blame you, though, because we could be witnessing some type of history here, and it's being done by him and, of course, the big guys up front who are creating the holes for him to run through.
Yeah, they've all been good so far. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. 20, 10, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Nelson Aguilar, 79 yards. And the Eagles add on to their lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Able to fight through one tackle. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And the Rams now coming out on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Yet another carry here tonight for Gurley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
But that certainly felt like an example of a defense just saying, okay, we've had enough. We've gotten mashed all night long. About time we got a good play in. But flip it over to the offensive side. They've got to be really upset that they allowed a play like that to happen. They were pitching such a great game, they want to keep it going. If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Nelson Aguilar and company getting set to go again on offense now. Creeping up on 1,000, could get there on this drive, so a challenge for him to do that, but also defensively maybe a challenge for them to not allow that.
And that means probably kicking even more coverages to his side. And what that really means is wherever he lines up, you will have a cornerback over in his area. Now, instead of blitzing your linebacker, drop him into coverage. Instead of the safety dropping into regular coverage, that safety moves into that area to try and discourage the quarterback from going to him. That means everyone else, win your routes. You've got an opportunity to catch passes now, too.
A little bit of a cat and mouse game. A good pickup there, a 22. Talk about a big first half. Already has the 2 touchdowns, adding to his receiving total there and picking up the first down.
He's coming off the line so fast. I think he's intimidating the defensive backs with his explosiveness, and he's chipping away at their confidence.
The first down carry for Davis. And he's got some space here. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A great effort there with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the second most in a single year. And the Eagles continue to roll. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Elliott good with a PAT. And a route is on here in this first half. Elliott now to kick this one away. Getting set to go again here, Robert Woods marches back onto the field. He's been good so far to this point in the second quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job. Increase things. More touches, more opportunities. Maybe that can reverse things on the scoreboard for them.
They'll try to ratchet things up then maybe here in the second quarter. Back to throw. Goff. He gets it to Cooks. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Over the middle, that's hauled in by Cup. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
To throw is gone. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Goff. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. He's been in a pretty good group. They actually have more yards on the ground than through the air, but both have been good, pretty balanced.
And have we ever met a coach when we've talked to him before a game that hasn't mentioned wanting to be balanced?
No, because then you've got both sides hitting the defense. They don't know what to expect, right?
Really helps your play.
He rifles one that's intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And time for us to take a break here in the booth. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. On the draw, Goff gives to Gurley. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Here's Goff now on 2nd down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Goff wants to throw on 3rd and 1. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Eagles have recovered. A bad 3rd down mistake there.
Points were already on the board in their mind. And that's the worst part about it, right? Because it's just like in golf. Never count it in the cup until it rolls in there. Otherwise, you can really get messed up with your scores. In this case, you know they thought, hey, at least 3, maybe even a chance to get 6. It's a little bit demoralizing going off the field now that you've turned it over and you come up empty.
Yeah, if he holds on to that, at least the field goal on 4th down. Now they lose it.
Run.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Wentz. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Dante Fowler in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Two jet.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Steps away to his left. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
One of the things I love about this game is there's a match of wits throughout the game. Who's going to get the advantage? Who's going to catch someone off guard? I feel like the offense thought they might catch the defense off balance with that play call, but unfortunately, that didn't work for them.
Todd Gurley and the offense, they get set and trot back out there now. And Charles, you can't really fault him. He's over 100 yards already. He's not the reason they're losing.
And that is really unusual because ordinarily, when you've set the tone this way and have run it this effectively, usually your team's in control. So it's a very strange situation And you're right, you can't fault him. He's done a great job for his team thus far.
I'm guessing he's saying, feed me on the sidelines. Now will they continue to do it? So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Goff now looks to throw. That's into the hands of Reynolds. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. They got a man. It's Woods. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Now Goff on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And Zerline's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Space to maneuver at the 40. Able to avoid him at the 40. And finally brought down at the 31-yard line. You sure you're ready for the 3rd quarter? Need to use a bathroom or anything? All right, cool. Let's go. So we've reached halftime here, and it's our visitors, the Eagles, leading this one. That'll be taken in the end zone. A spin. Now a hit and a loose football. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Let's just call that play exactly what it is. Needed, because they wanted to get back in the game, and they knocked the ball free, and now they have a chance to do exactly that.
They got the chance. Now they have to take advantage. The 3rd quarter starts with a run by Gurley. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
From our vantage point, that was just one bad play by the offensive line in a series of really good ones tonight. But I know that they're going to be really ticked off. It's a lot like a baseball pitcher losing a no-hitter late in the game.
Here comes a 20th carry for Gurley. Eventually wrangled down before reaching the 20, but a strong run. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
The Rams on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Gone. And that is incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And Zerline's kick is good. And that will knock this down to still a very large 29-point deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23.
Go. Lady! Dragon!
Working from the gun. Wentz being chased out left. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. And an alley to run. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the first down.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They go play action here on first down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
Flushed out right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Pass interference. Defense.
So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his second interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
After the interception, here's Goff. Dumps it off to Gurley. Still going. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game. So he's really made his presence felt in this one.
Hey, reload. 20.
Again, they run with Gurley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
4 down. 180.
From the gun on 3rd down, Goff. Pressure up the middle, and down he goes. Jordan Willis in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big. And now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Man, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Here's Carson Wentz now with the rest of his offensive unit heading onto the field. He's been a good game manager. They're winning here in the 3rd quarter, but really the ground game is where it's been at for them, hasn't it?
So whatever the game plan was, You just got to focus on continuing to run the football. And really, that takes the pressure off of the guy throwing it around. Doesn't have to be the focal point. Hand it off, let him chew up the yardage in big plays, and your team's winning. The only people upset, the fantasy guys who may have started him at quarterback in their leagues.
And we'll see if they continue with a recipe of the ground game. They run with Ajayi. And he's got room. And a shake and bake by Ajayi. A big play there from Ajayi. 47 yards on the ground. And you talk about great blocking up front. I don't think he was even touched, not a finger on him, until he was brought down to the ground.
I think we heard the whoosh as he went by, didn't we? Right through the gap. No one there, as you outlined, no one touched him at all. A free sprint into the secondary.
Yeah, that's what you call breaking free right there. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Go, go. Let's run. Let's run. They're running.
Oh, spinning away. And now off to the races down the right side. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great play there with touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Eagles are pouring it on. Elliott on for the extra point. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his second miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. Elliott now to kick this one away. And our attention shifts to Todd Gurley. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
That boy's got 4. 180.
They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
A play fake to Gurley. Now gone. They got a man over the middle. It's Woods. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On first down, it's Gurley. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
Another carry now for Gurley. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Goff now looking to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. On on now is the big leg of Greg Zuerlein. He has hit from as far as 61 away in his career. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So his third field goal of the ball game brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these threes into sixes.
And sevens, and probably even eights. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear. They want to close this gap.
Finds an opening past the 40. Still staying on his feet. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A big play there. Becoming just the second player with 30 touchdowns in a single year. And the Eagles continue to roll. And that rushing touchdown, his fourth, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Elliott now to add the extra point. Elliott good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. Elliott now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. A false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Now gone. Over the middle, complete. It's Reynolds. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. And it's a 14-yard pickup, but it'll still be second down.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Most players will tell you that night games, while they can be fun, they're really hard to prepare for because you wake up on game day and all you want to do is get to the stadium and let's get going. But you got to bank that fire a little bit and hold it until the evening. It's almost like a Broadway premiere. Got to wait until the nighttime to go out there in front of the bright lights. And boy, has he harnessed himself really well, and now he's unleashing it on the opponents. Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But it looked like a Rams player was able to get his hands on it, yes. So they will hold on to the football indeed. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your team.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way out to the field. They haven't had to rely so much on the passing game. It's really been a team effort in the running game that's kept them successful and has them in the lead.
I like that, too, the team effort, because when I was growing up, one guy carried the football, right? You stuck it in his chest 20 to 30 times a game, and he was the heavy volume, heavy dose guy. Now, you spread it around, different people touching it, and in this game, it's proven to be effective.
Yeah, spreading the wealth has been very effective.
Another good run there, and now we're seeing an offense that's imposed its will on a defense. When we talk about that all the time, what does it really mean? It means that the guys on the offensive line, they feel like they can do whatever they want. They're in the huddle saying, run it again. Give us another chance to smack someone and create some space. On the defensive side of the ball, not only have they imposed their will against you, you're almost powerless to figure out what you're doing there, but you got to keep your spirit up at the same time, and they're taking that too.
So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect. That was close to a big play, just a little bit too far that he was led. He caught it, but couldn't stay in bounds, Charles.
Yeah, I'm not very good at these sort of things, but I have to believe the farther you are downfield, the less your margin for error in throwing the ball, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, so they gave it a good effort there. Really tried, just couldn't complete it.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From midfield, here's Wentz. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown of the game and 4th on the year. And the Eagles are pouring it on. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went.
Back now in Los Angeles, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. As the Rams offense comes back out, here is the NFC playoff picture coming into the weekend. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Goff on 3rd down, and that is incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
That one goes for 24 yards.
Hang in there now.
Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And finally out of bounds inside the 5 at the 4. It's a big play there for the Eagles. 55 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. They'll try and run for it with Davis. And he's in for the score. And his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal. Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know there are plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Here's Gurley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
He's had a big game tonight, and while no one's going to be overly concerned about that last play, you also know that the offense coordinator does not want to see that happen again. They want to get back to doing what they've been doing all game long. And
that's caught left side. It's Woods. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Here's Gall. That's taken in, complete to Reynolds. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be fourth down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle. Hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
Great 15.
Now a play fake. Wentz rolling to his left. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And they just hit another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, You might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And however it turns out, it turns out.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Here's a Johnny. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Foul. Face mask. Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
This is a giant. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action and hit them over the top.
They don't want it, fellas. They don't want it. Keep.
Now this time, Wentz will throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Dante Fowler in there to get him for his second. Sack of the night. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Throwing now is Wentz. Buying time to his left. Letting one go deep for the... And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Eagles continue to roll. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Elliott now to kick this one away. Jared Goff and the Rams headed back onto the field. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind. It's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes about him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and the big yardage all night long.
Now this time he'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
But she's singing too.
Oh, she's singing. She's
on like the 5th tune at this point.
She left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
3rd and long. It's gone. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 18. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or 2.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best and knowing that taking care.
And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Here's Goff now on 2nd down. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment. And to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one. Oh, look at this. Wentz going to throw. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10. The Eagles indeed snap it. Wentz. And this is incomplete. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And the Rams get the football in outstanding field position. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Jordan Willis in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. To throw on second down is gone. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And out now come the Eagles. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And they don't get the reception. Incomplete. So now they're down to 17 seconds remaining. Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10.
Go. Back. Here, sit.
Wentz to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Oh, he's got a little daylight. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his.
One of the fun parts about working with you is that we've learned that there are different ways to do things than the way we were brought up to do them. This is Madden. Of course they were going to go ahead and get another score. What do you mean take a knee?
And that just makes the final margin even more lopsided. I think they earned themselves a cold drink from the fridge, right?
There's no doubt about it.
Maybe some pretzels, too, some hummus. Go crazy.
See, we've learned.
Go crazy.
We have learned the Madden way of doing things.
If the late touchdown wasn't bad enough, now they're going to go for 2. So sportsmanship nowhere to be found right here. They'll try and run it with Davis. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Eagles, the final 2 weeks are going to tell the story for them as they move.